What's going on, everybody? The Iceman here on this Sunday afternoon, donning the John Cena Even Stronger shirt. Obviously, if you see the back, you already know what it says. You can't see me and whatnot, but whatever. Um, yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about the Intercontinental and U.S. titles here in the WWE, and I really think that since the World Heavyweight Belt and the WWE title were unified uh, back when Randy Orton ended up becoming the first unified champion at the end of 2013. Um, this took away a belt, which I think was really needed for the people on the roster to have something to look forward to and whatnot. But anyway, uh, now we've seen Cena go after the U.S. belt with Rusev. Obviously, he lost at Fastlane. Rusev claims there will be another, or will not be another rematch. I beg to differ with that. There will be a rematch at Mania. And now with Roman Reigns and the Brock Lesnar situation going on, and we still don't know, what's going to happen there with Brock Lesnar. But anyway, this has nothing to do with this video. But with Cena going after the U.S. title and Daniel Bryan, you know, going after the Intercontinental belt, what does this say for the WWE? In my eyes, um, it looks to me that these two belts could become a lot bigger than what they were once to be because really in all essence in all mind when we had the world heavyweight title and the WWE title, did any of us really care who had the IC belt or the US belt? I mean, I did, but I didn't. um and I did a video about the demise of John Cena a few days ago, and realistically it's involved with the storyline of the WWE. But I think the WWE is making a move now, whereas we did see Daniel Bryan as champion last year. We saw Daniel Bryan as champion in 2013 as well, even though he got a screw job by the authority. Um, and then he got stripped of the belt last year because of his injury. But there are younger guys moving up the ladder, and what better way for these guys to have the freedom to move on up that ladder and go after the WWE World Heavyweight title belt than to have guys like John Cena and Daniel Bryan pursue the lower belts, the mid card belts. And can you imagine if Daniel Bryan had the IC belt and John Cena had the US belt, how big this could be in the WWE? A lot of people are saying, well, we're tired of seeing Cena as champion, blah, 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 blah. But you know something? John Cena is still the biggest star in the WWE, bar none, no matter what anybody thinks. Yeah, I'm a John Cena fan, but I will be the first one to say when his time uh, for him not to be anywhere in or near the main event scene, I'd be the first one to tell you. Um, but at this point, John Cena is still that guy, but he is going after a mid card title. And along with Daniel Bryan possibly going after the Intercontinental title, this could make these belts huge. This could make these belts where more people are going to want to go after these belts, and it'll make it so much more interesting in with the WWE. And as this is going on, we will have the issues going on with Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, um, and whatnot. Whether Rusev moves on to go after the WWE World Heavyweight title sooner or later remains to be seen. But there is a lot of things that could go on with Cena and Daniel Bryan possibly holding these two respective belts. Um, these belts would be pursued a lot more because people would gun for Cena, people would gun for Daniel Bryan. And in my eyes, I'm going to say this, and you get a lot of hate for saying a lot of things about John Cena. I will say this. Um, when I first started watching wrestling, I watched NWA. Ric Flair was the guy. And I always said, man, this is my favorite wrestler. And through a number of years, Ric Flair was my favorite wrestler. And even went through the Hogan era. Ric Flair was still my favorite wrestler. Even listening to critics, reading Pro Wrestling Illustrated and all the wrestling magazines that used to be out there. They used to compare Flair and Hogan, and I always still held Flair over highly over Hulk Hogan. And as time went on, we went into the Attitude Era. Stone Cold was a big favorite of mine, so wasn't The Rock. Um, but I still held on to Ric Flair, even though Ric Flair jumped ship from WCW back in 91, 92, and he wasn't there for very long, and he went back to WCW. And but from that point on, you know, Ric Flair really he just went downhill. And when he had his retirement match against Shawn Michaels and lost, that was the time for Ric Flair to fold them up, put the boots away, fold up those tights, put them back into your dresser drawer. But he always came around. And the more he came around, there was a lot of silliness, a lot of nonsense. There was a lot of bad news about Ric Flair. And it sort of like tainted his image with me. And when Randy Orton and John Cena came about, excuse me, back in like 2003, 2004, things changed. And after watching John Cena for a long period of time, he grew on me. I sent my nephew, he got an autograph from John Cena. He said he was like one of the nicest guys he ever met. And like he told me to this day, he still says, John Cena back then is like John Cena is now. He was a realistic person. And that sort of helped me, decide, who was my new favorite wrestler. And it took a long time to replace Ric Flair, but I did replace him with John Cena. And until the day that John Cena can't wrestle, and until the day that John Cena is no longer in the world of professional wrestling, I always will be a John Cena fan. He always will be my now new favorite, who has been my favorite now, about 10 years now. And he's done a lot for the WWE. Nobody can take that away from him. And so, anyway, you know, he may not be in the championship picture now, for the WWE World Heavyweight title. But you can mark my words, John Cena will definitely be back. John Cena will definitely get another title in the WWE. He will tie Ric Flair's record. Now, whether the WWE will allow him to surpass him or not remains to be seen. In my eyes, and this is my opinion only, I think because John Cena's only been a WWE guy, I think it's either him or Randy Orton that should end up passing Ric Flair's record. And I have no problem with that, just for the fact that Ric Flair wrestled in other wrestling promotions. A lot of people are saying, why would you even, think Randy Orton? Randy Orton still has been a WWE guy. Randy Orton is still one of the top people in the WWE, along with John Cena. So there's only two guys in my eyes that should be able to pass Ric Flair's record in the WWE since it's been the WWE, and that is John Cena or Randy Orton. Um, whether or not it's Randy, I don't know. Whether or not it's going to be John Cena, I don't know. But I do know it's going to be one of the two that is going to surpass Ric Flair's record. And in my eyes, I have really no problem with it. I know there's a lot of John Cena haters out there, but you want to know something? Look at the overall picture. Look what he's done for the WWE. You can't take that away from him or nobody. because John Cena has done it all for the WWE, much like The Rock has done when he comes back to help out the WWE, because The Rock is a guy that was made big in the WWE, although he did move on to greener pastures, going to Hollywood, doing his movies, making millions and millions of dollars, a lot more than he did in the WWE, but he has not forgotten where he came from. And this is the type of guy John Cena is as well. He has not forgotten what made him the guy he is today. And with all that being said, Cena, he can boost this mid card belt, you know, to the top. And if they do the same with the Intercontinental belt, with Daniel Bryan or whomever, that'd be awesome as well. Um, people are talking about unifying these two belts. I think it'd be crazy because then you'd only have like three belts in the WWE, with the world title, the Divas, and then the one unified belt here. Um, and actually the tag team champions as well, so you'd have four. But Cena has done it all for the WWE, and make no mistake about it, there's no doubt in my mind that John Cena again will become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It may not be this year, but it will be soon to come. Peace out, everybody, on this Sunday. It's snowing here in Connecticut once again. I actually have done, a few extra videos as of late because in the next month, I may not be around for a while. I got, health issues, obviously, to be taken care of. Once again, they hamper me, and so I'm trying to do what I can, but hopefully they'll be, the issues will be taken care of in a short span of time. So, but we'll just have to wait and see. But in my eyes, go John Cena, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect, buddy. We'll see y'all next time.